involved fathers have fewer psychological and behavioral problems and are less likely to become delinquent and less likely to use drugs. And it also says studies show that when a father is involved, when the baby's inside the mother's stomach, the baby is less likely to be born premature and also be stronger. And also they say that when fathers are involved, especially during the first 8 weeks of their life, they show a higher competency to handle stress and frustration. And the reason why that is because of the ways fathers play with children. And at times it can be very terrifying, to say the least. But in actuality, they're putting them in situations that further prepare them for times where it might not be so smooth, but fathers are more likely to engage in rougher play, which is actually healthy for the development of the child emotionally and psychologically. And they also said that they're less likely to struggle with depression and anxiety. I say this to say that there's an importance in fathers. Because Father's Day, this is Father's Day weekend, but what we have to understand is that out of 2019, Mother's Day was about a $25 billion industry that was done. But Father's Day only goes down to $16 billion. That means people don't think that Father's Day or commemorating fathers is not as important. And that's just the way society goes. But I decided that when I was asked to preach, I noticed that this sermon would be close to Father's Day. And I thought, why not look into the importance of a father? And the father that really came to mind was a man named Jairus. And so when we read the text in Mark chapter 5, I want you to understand that there are literally 3 accounts in the Bible talking about this exact same story. Now, the chapter talking about Mark was a little bit longer, but it felt like I had to cover everything that I wanted to cover. There was an account in the book of Matthew. There was an account also in the book of Luke, but Mark really captured what I really wanted to speak about. And so I looked in there, and so what we have is that Jesus has healed people from demons, and he has healed people that are blind and mute. But something about this situation, in every single account, we have a synagogue leader who literally falls at his feet or kneels at his feet and pleads with Jesus. Now, what we have to understand is that people of the synagogue, they did not politically like Jesus, so it was kind of a risk that he had to take. But his daughter was dying. So that his daughter may live, he kind of did what was called a social suicide, but he did it to save his daughter. But in every single account also, there is the story about the woman that touched the hem of his garment who was bleeding for 12 years. Scientifically, they say that this could have been a hemorrhage where she was bleeding. And she had spent all of her money, her life savings. And we don't hear about a husband, we don't hear about kids, but we hear about her affliction that she has had for 12 years, which is approximately the same amount of time that this young girl has been alive. So then I kept looking further into the text, looking further. And what we have